Welcome back to the show. You made it. It's Sonic Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Grant, and this is a unofficial, unauthorized Sonic the Hedgehog podcast that comes out usually once a week, but we've been off for a couple weeks. We occasionally will take a break. We're not above taking a brief hiatus around the holiday season, and we hope you've been well. We're back in the saddle. I am never going to say this phrase again. Back in the saddle for the horse that is the show. I will never say that again. What I will say is that we've got a great show for you every week, this week, next week included. But let's meet everybody first. Back at the show, he's been off for a few weeks. Bo, hi Bo, welcome back.
I'm here, and I'm standing on the border of everything, and glad to be back on this horse of a show.
Here we go, buddy. And out of the shadows into the spotlight, the star of the show, David the Lurker. Hi, David.
Whoa, hi Grant, hi Bo, welcome back, Welcome back, Borders. Welcome back, Borderlands 4? Nah.
Yeah, so let's POV the audience. So audience, dear listener, you might be doing your dishes, you might be driving, you might be on your computer, you might be playing some video games, and then you hear these three voices, and it's sort of like, yeah, we're talking to you. You're right there, part of the conversation. We're in the passenger seat and the back seat. We're hanging out at the kitchen island. We're in the Discord chat, and we keep inviting you, dear listener, to say something. But we won't let you because we just have so much to say ourselves. If you do want to talk to us, you can send us mailbag questions, and we're going to have mailbag questions in this very episode, which we're going to get to. We're also going to check in with Rings of Saturn, which we do most weeks, especially when Bo is here. But first, let's talk about Sonic Movie 3. It's almost here. We're hyped up. We talked about it last episode with Barry. Now we're super hyped. Remember, David, do you remember earlier this year when people were losing their minds? Not us, but some people were losing their minds because the movie marketing didn't start in June or August or September. But here we are in December. The movie's a week away.
Yeah.
Wow. A week away. And you can't escape it. The advertising is everywhere.
That is true. Right. I bet everyone is laughing at themselves, or nobody will admit that they were upset when there was nothing to talk about, because now there is so much to talk about. God, yeah, a week away. We've had a lot. I mean, since we've been gone, we've had a second full trailer. We've had a ton of television spots. We've had at least, 2 behind-the-scene featurettes. One focusing on Keanu, one focusing on Jim Carrey, and him being both of the Eggman. He is the Eggman. He is now legally owned by Apple Corp, not the computer one, the music one, or the Beatles. He's owned by the Paul McCartney. Never wait. Don't gotta be careful what I'm saying. Yeah,
you got it.
Okay, and right,
Christmas short, a beloved stop
right.
motion animation like thing,
right?
From Stupid Buddy Studios,
media.
who does Robot Chicken. They produced this short, and it kind of looked like Robot Chicken, right? Like the dolls or they sort of had that look. It was interesting. What did you guys think of like how it looked?
This is a hot take. I've maybe made this hot take on the show before. It's like, I don't like stop motion animation. I know I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But this was tolerable to me. Like, this wasn't too winking about, oh, look how clever we are. We positioned the clay or whatever.
Yeah. You have a light phobia of stop motion.
Yeah.
Which is not to say you're afraid of it, but just you'd rather not
stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop with the motion.
Right. Don't start again.
Did you just have a bad viewing experience of Rudolph one year? I don't.
Look, Gumby knows what he did.
Oh, no.
And it's Gumby. Okay, that explains everything.
Between me and that green piece of...
That's all you needed to say was Gumby. Gumby's he's a little frightening.
And there was also the 12 hours of Sonic on the same day, which was yesterday. We record on Thursdays. This was Wednesday the 11th. Why wasn't it 12/12 for the 12 hours of Sonic? I don't know.
I guess
Paramount knows better.
Well, they're scared of Thursdays, maybe.
No.
No. Right.
They are scared of Thursdays.
Right. The 12 hours of Sonic, that was, I guess, them. They were pushing. It was tied to a giveaway, which if you didn't enter, too bad. It's over.
It's over. You need to get over it. If you're just learning about that right now, get out of line. Do not stay in line. You're not going to win the prize.
Right. The grand prize, I believe, was a trip to the blue carpet premiere in LA, because the blue carpet premiere in London has already happened as well, since we've recorded. That they had their big gala. That means a whole bunch of people have already seen the film, know about the 12,000 post-credit scenes, I believe is the exact total. They've seen all the members of the Deadly Six. It's going to be actually, you know how the Beatles are having 4 movies? Well, Sonic 4 is 6 movies.
Whoa.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. Right. So that was the also there was a prize for an exclusive ugly Sonic sweater, which should just be merch. Like, you should just be able to buy that. I don't know why that's a one of a kind thing.
Right.
Jones soda, Reebok shoes, Lego sets. Oh, they were also giving away the Sonic 3 carts, which did we I forget if we talked about that.
I don't think we talked about these actual Genesis working carts that give you a little marketing preview for movie 3.
I guess they were sent out, and it's basically just, here's some photos, here's some digitized sound bites, a game that you can't actually win, but if you do the classic Sonic, it was just up, down, left, right, A start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do that, boom, you get a tease, you get to find out when the next trailer is, but that's already happened. So its secret is worthless at this point, but it's still super neat because it actually works on physical Genesis hardware. There's videos of it. Various Sonic and video game influencers have it, and we don't.
It really is third time's the charm. They are dialed in on synergistic marketing. They're getting the game people, they're getting the movie people, they're getting the toy people, they're getting. Are they dialed in on the comics? Maybe they're not dialed in on the comics, but everything else is working well.
Oddly, there is no prequel comic this time around.
Yeah,
there was for the first 2 movies, but this time not so. But speaking of the anachronistic, my new favorite word, Sega Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog movie 3 teaser thing that previewed the second trailer. We don't usually record our episodes out of order, but this time we are. We already recorded an episode that's going to come out next week that I want to tell you about because it's related to what we're talking about right now. It's about the movie 3.
It's a cracker.
It's a cracker of an episode. We were there.
There are going to be news aggregation sites that put the highlights of this interview episode in their article, and they want to steal the clicks from us and take it for themselves. And I'm telling you, yeah, fine, whatever, have them.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't care. The other thing too is, like, we're saying this one so that you're excited, dear listener, for next week when Pat Casey, Josh Miller, Tyson Hess will appear on the program and talk about the whole Sonic movie trilogy with the 3 of us. But also, if you're going to it backwards and you found the episode through the news aggregators and then it already played and then it's auto playing this episode, we just want to know that we see you. We want you to know that through facial recognition technology, we can see you. And you look great.
Oh.
So we're recording this one on the 12th of December during the Game Awards. And shortly after the drop of the movie DLC for Sonic X Shadow Generations. That released about an hour and a half ago. It's one new stage. Keanu Reeves is Shadow in the game. And there's 2 challenge acts. I played through it. I don't know. I'm going to guess probably not, that you guys have not yet had a chance to play this. Or maybe you have.
Well, so I'm pretty dialed in. I'm in the top 1% of the population in awareness of Sonic stuff.
No argument.
And I had it in my head that I would not be able to play this because I didn't have a PlayStation 5. And lo and behold, though, Steam just says, hey, do you want to download this DLC an hour and a half ago? And I said, yeah, sure. I guess it's here. And so I was wrong. That they screwed up the marketing of the matrix of digital deluxe plus animation bonus plus adventurer token pack. Wait, that was Frontiers.
Right. It's hard to keep track of. Yeah, because there was a PlayStation exclusive bonus, which was the full Dark Beginnings being loaded on within the game data, within the gigabytes of the game on PlayStation. Not so for Xbox or Switch. But the DLC is available on all platforms, including Steam. And it is what we've seen a lot of in the trailers. It's Shadow in Tokyo, and there's gun helicopters, and Keanu Reeves says he talks a lot. They got the full amount of Keanu Reeves for the stage. The stage is about 5 minutes long. It's about as long as probably less. I think it's probably 4 minutes. Probably less. It's 4 minutes if you're not playing it that well.
It's a new layout, new assets.
New layout, new assets. If you told me that this was originally supposed to be Westopolis, the Westopolis level for the game, and they sort of revamped it for the movie, I would believe you. It sort of just seems like a city with, I mean, there are specific Tokyo elements, but they're also kind of part of like, you know, how the game in Shadow Generations does those like cutscenes where you're not in control, but Shadow's looking super cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's some of those.
But hey, new game, new assets, or new level, new assets. That's cool.
Yeah, super cool. And you know, maybe we'll talk about that more later, or maybe we won't. But okay, so that's catching you up.
We'll never talk about it again.
How's Shadow at length? We've heard, you know, a couple lines in the trailers.
I think he sounds great. I mean, I think it sounds both like, yeah, that's just Keanu talking, and yeah, that's Shadow talking. Like it just sounds very natural.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to warm up to Idris's version of Knuckles. Like it's a different take on the character. He's making some choices, but I like it now. And I wondered if Shadow would be that kind of thing that you get used to, or if it just slides right into your expectations.
I think the latter, and I also think that it makes a pretty compelling case for the movie model textures to be used in game because it looks good.
Oh,
I am a fan of the fur texture, and I also like a center mouth that can move around the mouth. We were talking about this in the Discord, but I think there's some disagreement on where we prefer the mouth on Sonic and Shadow. I mean, yes, it should be on the side sometimes, but sometimes it should be in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
That's my opinion. But yeah, it didn't seem like oh, this is crazy. How could it's very natural. It fits. It's Shadow. It's recognizably Shadow.
I don't like the fur. Still can't get over the fur.
Can't with the fur.
He's just furry. He's a furry man.
I'm just gonna accept it with all the movie animals. But
okay, so movie 3. Did we cover everything with movie 3? The
We
posters. Did we talk about the posters?
No, we didn't mention the posters. Right.
Those were cool, I thought.
Yes, that was also happening at the same time, tied in, but I guess it was different accounts showing different posters. So
yeah, I can't tell what's official and what's fake.
There were 12 posters, I think.
That makes sense.
I think there was one per hour, and I believe it was 12 different partners. So it was multiple theater chains and, you know, other licensed partners, I guess, that were tweeting out these on behalf of Sonic Movie 3, and then Sonic Movie 3 account on Twitter or X was just retweeting all of them. And I think the same on Instagram.
Okay, right. Like we had so Sonic Movie retweeted them all. So if I go to Sonic Movie, I can just tell.
That's how I was following it. I was just following Sonic Movie on X, and
you said X.
I know. You know why I've said X is because it no longer resembles Twitter. They have really just sort of busted it down enough at this point where I'm like, it's not the place I used to know.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of social media throwback sites, this like multiple accounts all participating thing reminds me of MySpace back in the day when it was the place to go get music.
Oh yeah.
You know the band Rancid?
Sure.
Their lead singer Tim Armstrong did a solo project, but then like to get the songs of it, you had to go to like, the Rancid MySpace has one of them, and the Epitaph Records has another one. It was like this Easter egg hunt, 2007. Man, good days, good album.
Right.
Yeah, the Dark Knight movie 2008 famously had a lot of like scavenger hunt. There was a lot of scavenger hunt type style marketing back in those days. So thankfully, like they're not sending us running around Montana to find like the hidden rock that tells us the trailer date. They're sending Genesis carts to influencers, of which we are not. We are humble podcaster fans. We are not influencers that, furthermore, we're not video. So, well, you know, that's not true. Jack of old games, if they had mailed us a cartridge, Jack would have played that and he would have unlocked it. I feel very confident about that. Jack of Old Games provides the YouTube capture if you're watching or listening on YouTube.
Yeah.
Should we be like video, like post thirst traps or whatever? And is that the path to?
I don't know if I want to post any thirst traps. That sounds a little dangerous. Right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, we're all pretty good looking gentlemen here. We could definitely be on camera. We just choose not to. Hey, speaking of choices,
Whoa.
You're choosing to segue.
I'm choosing to segue unless there's anything to talk about with the posters. I feel like we kind of covered it. They look cool.
I mean, we could give a list of all the movies that they parodied quickly, right? It was A Christmas Story, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Okay, let's quickly
Jim
rank
Carrey.
them. Let's rank them. Say,
Oh, okay.
say them, and then we'll give them an Ebert and Siskel and Ebert style thumbs up or thumbs down.
Siskel and Ebert. Okay.
Or what perhaps your younger listeners might say Ebert and Roper, or Roper and Loeb.
Our younger listeners probably don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the younger listeners being if they're 29, 30, 35, and they're like, oh, I kind of know that.
I remember. Do. Da, 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 da. Was that the theme? That's probably not it. No, I think that's
After
Reading
movies.
Rainbow. No, that's not Reading. Whatever. Okay, we've got the A Christmas Story inspired poster posted by Discussing Film. Whoa. Songs
So you're going backwards. You're starting at the
Do you want
top
me
of the
to-
feed. No, I'm just acknowledging. I'm just stating. I'm just setting the scene.
Okay.
But okay, yeah, A Christmas Story. This was the last one that was posted. I am starting with a thumbs down. No, I'm not. Thumbs up, because they've got tails licking pole.
Yeah.
I say thumbs up. I think the fur is unobjectionable here.
I just received a note that tails licking pole could be misconstrued. I mean that he was imitating the character Flick from A Christmas Story, who gets his tongue frozen on the pole during a double dog dare bet. Please do not take that out of context.
Please do not. Right. I mean, that's sort of like they had to make some unique assets there. They had to give him a tongue, because I don't know exactly what still that would be otherwise. Sonic's wearing glasses, so he's like Nicky from the manga. Yeah, let's give it
yes, that's my first association.
Up.
Thumbs up. 3 thumbs up.
Sure, why not?
Was that a thumbs up from Bo? Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it. Okay, then Cinepolis, whoever they are, it looks like they are some sort of. Well, I mean, is that Spanish? Porque las I won't even try. Hey, it's Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's definitely Spanish.
Yeah, it's definitely Spanish.
The Nightmare Before Christmas one. Thumbs up.
Right. I don't know if it's Spain Spanish or Mexico Spanish. They're slightly different.
Oh boy.
Doesn't matter.
I say thumbs down. This one is low effort.
Low effort. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I'll agree with you.
Yeah, I said thumbs up, so I'm just not going to change my mind. But yeah, I hear you and agree.
Right. Then we got Collider. Thanks. They didn't post it. They just posted an article. Great. That's the Die Hard one.
The Die Hard one was one of the best ones, I thought. Thumbs up.
Yeah, why not? I'm just doing it real quick. Regal, they posted the Grinch inspired Sonic 3, which I you know what?
This one I'm going to go thumbs down, because for one, it's Game Sonic in the toy.
Yes.
And two, yes, I get that Jim Carrey was the Grinch. Ho 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 ho. I am laughing at that association, but it doesn't quite work, because one, it's Game Sonic, and two, he doesn't wear green gloves. Who wears green gloves?
It's also low.
That's an unusual choice.
Yeah.
So I thumbs down.
Right. Also, you don't see Jim Carrey in this poster.
That's true. They could have maybe chosen a different poster for the Grinch that had Jim Carrey in it.
Right. Like, I don't know, like the next one from IMDb, it's the Bill Murray vehicle Scrooged inspired poster.
Right.
Which
Thumbs
I think
up.
is one
Great
of my
movie.
favorites. Yeah.
Good poster. Yes. The best Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I'll go thumbs up here too, because I like it was a interesting choice to go Scrooged, and it fits well with Gerald Robotnik.
Yeah.
This movie version of Gerald.
There we go. Tyler Disney. That's just someone. Well, okay, here's the next one. Cinemark theaters. They still exist. They have the Elf inspired one, where instead of
thumbs down, because love Lee Majube is love Agent Stone, but in the Elf poster it goes E, then Will Ferrell's standing there, he's the L, and then there's a F, ELF, elf. That's it. Elf. But here it's S, and then a man, Agent Stone, and then a 3. So what? Shelf? What is it? I don't get it. S Lee 3, S Stone 3. I don't understand. It
Lee.
frustrates me. Thumbs down.
Yeah, it's a little confused. Also, they just put his head on top of
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah, he doesn't even recognizably resemble himself here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't pose for that photo, unfortunately.
Yeah, understand.
Probably not.
Right, but the next one from IGM, I definitely like more. It's the one inspired by Four Christmases. There it is, Jim Carrey, and wait, how do you say his last name again? Lee
I think it's Majub.
Say it fast.
Majub. Right. His grandfather's hedgehog, his enemy, and his enemy's crew all in one movie. Oh, they're gonna fall in love, which I think has been the overarching story of these three films. Robotnik.
I don't think the height difference is as exaggerated between the two as it is on this poster, where they've got Agent Stone standing on several books to match up with Robotnik's height. They're doing that because that's how it is with Vince Vaughn and who's the
Is it Reese
other lead?
Witherspoon?
Is it Reese Witherspoon? Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
So anyway, this one I give a I don't know. I guess
I go thumbs up.
I'll go thumbs up, but it's a weak
fine.
thumbs up.
A
Yeah.
weak thumbs up, right? If it was like one less box, it'd be okay. It just looks like his legs are short. Or maybe he shrinks.
it's
He's
cute.
a tiny man in the movie, maybe.
Yeah,
We don't know what's happening in this film.
That's true.
Right. And then the next one, oh god, wait, what is this? Is it Love Actually?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's
Or
called?
one of those themed movies, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, here's everyone, and you're like, yep. And I guess this is the poster that confirms Natasha Rothwell's character is evil, right? She's on the bad side.
Oh, is it clearly marked that side is the? I mean, most of the bad characters are on the right side of the photo, but
Right. Well, she's
does it say that she's on like that's the naughty side? Because on the Love Actually, it's just
it's
the
just
characters
whoever.
are just wherever. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, in this one, for whatever reason, it is right. You get Jim Carrey twice.
Right.
And then Lee and Keanu, and then Natasha's just sandwiched in between them, and so it's like, does that mean she's bad?
I guess she's an antagonist. Like she's not necessarily a villain, but she's not somebody who helps Tom, and therefore is not necessarily helping Sonic.
It does say Team Nice versus Team Naughty, but I am saying thumbs down. The colors are off on this in a way that I don't think fits the vibe.
I'll agree with thumbs down, and the reason is because on the Love Actually poster, I believe some of the copy at the bottom is the ultimate romantic comedy, and they didn't parody that here with the ultimate life form.
Oh,
So again, just
missed
felt like
opportunity.
yeah. Okay.
Thumbs down for that.
That's a definitely thumbs down. Then from the official Sonic the Hedgehog video game account, which we're all intimately familiar with, it's the Home Alone inspired poster.
2 thumbs up. Well done.
Yep,
Yeah.
This one was really strong. This looks like a new render, in fact, and it looks like new poses for Gerald. I don't think we've seen, maybe for both Robotniks.
Mm-hmm.
And this one tracks too. It makes sense for the parody of it works.
We showed my 6-year-old Home Alone for the first time last week, and he was not as into it as I expected. Like, he liked the hijinks, but also was just kind of horrified about, like, man, this kid is by himself. That is terrifying.
Wow.
I was gonna ask because I feel like that first movie is kind of scary. The second movie's a little scary too. I mean, they're both scary. Like, if you're a kid, you're on your own. It's like, yeah, it's kind of exciting, but it's also
no, it's scary, and also it makes no sense. Like, there's a million ways they could have made contact.
Right.
Yeah.
They were not trying at all.
Yeah, and the wet bandit should be dead, as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
Right. Is it a stealth like sequel to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Because you do have the John Candy, right?
The John Candy cinematic universe.
Yeah. Oh man,
the JCCU. Hey kids, you know who else had a cinematic universe? Our Lord and Savior, JC.
That's right.
John
I mean,
Candy.
that's the ultimate original and then sequel. Hey, the next one. Who's this from? Cinema Blend. This is based on the classic National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, back when National Lampoon was a name that meant something. Didn't Pat Casey and Josh Miller write a National Lampoon movie in the 2000s?
Whoa, they did?
Did they?
Is that right? I
I
knew
don't know.
Violent Night. I knew Hey Stop Stabbing Me. I did not know about National Lampoon's.
all right. Okay,
Whatever.
hold on. I guess.
While you're looking that up, I think the poster looks great. The color is well done, and good Jim Carrey pose.
Yep, I think this one's great. This is maybe my number one favorite. I think that it is spot on. I love that the red quill and the blue quill are the things that are shocking him. So it works for the movie, it works for the poster, works for the parody.
See, I think my favorite is Home Alone, but this one is quite good.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say those are the top ones.
Yeah. Do you remember the classic? It's the film National Lampoon's Dorm Days and National Lampoon's Dorm Days 2 are the films.
Didn't know that one.
Well, too late to bring it up now because we already recorded the interview.
That's right. We should have asked them, and that was the first one, right? So that's all 12.
Yeah,
we've done it. We've experienced all 12 days.
Okay, so now we rated all the posters. We are caught up on movie 3. So if you fell into this episode because you're just so hyped on movie 3, that's all the movie 3 stuff that we know at this time that we can say. So we're moving on to the next segment because for the last several weeks, we have been without this segment, which is the Rings of Saturn with Bo, the newest news about the console that had a, I think, 3-year lifespan in the mid-90s from 1995 to 1998, but still a beloved console and lots of new discoveries every week.
Yeah, I'm kicking it into overdrive for the end of the year. It's the 1-year anniversary of Rings of Saturn. To celebrate that, I put out a mod for Christmas Nights into Dreams. And I've messed around with this before. This time I made it a proper mod. You guys know the Sonic present in Christmas Nights into Dreams? Play as Sonic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know of this through you.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's just kind of bad. Sonic's running animation is really awkward. Like the highlight is fighting against Eggman. You know, it could have been a lot better. So I just turned it back into Nights where Sonic can fly. But not only can he fly, he can spin dash in the air with his proper spin dash animation.
Whoa.
And he has a paraloop, not the Psy-loop, but pretty similar to the Psy-loop that would come later.
Pretty similar.
And it works great. So you can fly around as Sonic in this special Sonic into Dreams remix patch from Rings of Saturn. And that was my 1-year anniversary thing. But that one, people like Sonic, people like Knights. The one that really captured the imaginations of people is this thing about Fighters Megamix. So we've talked about Fighters Megamix before, I'm sure here. This is, to me, one of the Saturn Mount Rushmore games, along with Knights, Burning Rangers, Sega Rally. Others may have a different top 4, but those are mine. But for the 30th anniversary of the Saturn, the game producer Yutaka Ito, best known now for the Like a Dragon Yakuza series, he posted a message about how he started working at Sega and he was working on Fighters Megamix. And he says, "This is the first time I'm making this public. I made a mistake in Fighters Megamix. I hid a secret stage in there that will only appear when certain conditions are met. But I forgot to make the wall work properly. So if you throw your opponent through the wall, the game crashes and it might delete your save. I don't know what happens. I will reflect on this for the rest of my life." So he posts a video of this secret stage, and it's kind of this like spacey thing with Japanese characters in the background. And of course, people are wondering, okay, how do you get to this? And, that's the bat signal for me. People were pinging me in the middle of the night, like, okay, Bo, figure this out. And so I worked on it all day, all evening, the next day. Couldn't get it. And then I opened up the Japanese Fighters Megamix disc, because I had it, and I found on there a readme.txt or readme.doc, I think it was.
Oh my gosh.
So it's got these messages from the developers. It's all in Japanese, so I had to translate it. And they're all mostly saying like, oh boy, this project, we didn't have much time, but we got it done. Thanks for playing. But one of the messages is from Taka Ito himself. And he says, hey, here's a secret thing in this game. If you go to the team battle mode and you press X on the second controller and yada, 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 you can get this feature that's not in the manual. And I thought, oh, that's strange. He put a secret into the game. He's talking about a secret now. I wonder if these two things are related. And in fact, they are related. They're the same thing. So he said 30 years later that he was revealing it for the first time, but he actually revealed it on readme.doc back in the 90s. And I followed his directions from the text file, and sure enough, this thing popped right up, and sure enough, it does crash. So he's right about that part.
Oh, did your save file get deleted?
It did not, so it was not that bad of a crash.
Oh, okay.
But good news for him, though, is it is fixed in the US version.
Whoa.
So he did get an opportunity to correct his mistake.
Oh, right. So I don't have to worry. I can break as many walls as I want.
That's right.
That is very exciting. I got my copy from Funkoland. I just want to throw that. I just wanted to shout out Funkoland. You know, they've been defuncto for.
They're defunct. Yeah.
Defuncto land.
That's right.
I am excited to finally be able to participate in these conversations because as a Christmas gift, I believe I'm going to be getting a Sega Saturn, my very first Sega Saturn in my life, with one of the Sir2. Is that what it's called? The Sir2 Elite? Saru Elite?
Saru, yeah. Sir2 is one of our beloved listeners.
Whoops.
Wow.
Or not whoops. Shout out Sir2. Unless it's edited out. Smoovies, your call.
Keep it in.
Whoa, yeah.
So are you going to have it like under the tree? Are you going to open it up? Or are you just getting it in the mail and being like, yeah? Because you should. What I'm saying is you should try to recreate, you know, my Christmas experience, 1996, opening up the Saturn under the tree.
Okay.
See, getting excited.
Okay.
And then of course you can only have access to 4 games, which were the 3 that were free. You know, Daytona, Virtua Fighter 2, and Virtua Cop, and of course Sonic 3D Blast. And those were the only games available on Christmas morn. But man, I definitely wasn't forlorn, because you see, it's Christmas and you have to rhyme. It's, I think, the law. That's what
I will. So my understanding of what this is it's like, you know, it's every game that ever released for the Saturn, Japanese, Western, everywhere.
Yeah, it's one of these optical drive replacement things where you can do the games without the physical discs.
Because getting the physical discs now is a rich, impossible game. Like Sonic Jam is over $1,000. Burning Rangers is over $1,000.
You got to do what I did and buy them in the 90s.
Yes,
right. Hell, you should have bought them in like 2008. You still would have been fine, except for Panzer Dragoon Saga. That bad boy was always expensive. But
yeah, that one's always been expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I've sort of just been waiting for years for Saturn games to either become easier for me to emulate. I know they're sort of emulatable now, but I can not seem to do it without major stuttering issues with the game. And also just, you know, more ports of Saturn games to Switch or modern consoles, which just sort of hasn't happened. So if I remain curious about Panzer Dragoon Saga. I remain curious about Burning Rangers, and I'm excited to finally be able to hopefully play them.
It's a very good library. I am looking forward to getting your reflections on it as you participate. But all right, so moving from the core planet of Saturn out to the rings, the Dreamcast is one of the rings, and if you know, even farther out, maybe closer to Neptune, is the PlayStation. These two things, the Dreamcast and the PlayStation, you know, they had a lot of games that also appeared on Sega consoles, or Saturn and PlayStation and Dreamcast game libraries kind of overlap. And one way they overlapped is third-party developers like Neversoft, famous for the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. And before they were famous for the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, Neversoft did a video game of a media franchise that they tried to make happen in the 90s. There's toys and a cartoon, and then they wanted to make a video game called Skeleton Warriors. Not super well remembered, but it was interesting to me because it's a Saturn game, and I knew from looking at it before that there's a cheat code in there that nobody knows. So I can see the effects, but I don't know what buttons you got to press to get it. And I looked at it and I said, oh, you know, interesting, but probably not worth cracking. And then many months later, I'm looking at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on Dreamcast. I see the exact same code. It's like the same developer just took what they did on the Saturn and carried it forward on the Dreamcast. And I thought, okay, people are going to care if I find new cheat codes for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. And so I spent a little bit of computing power and I cracked the encoding system for Tony Hawk. And out of that also came the Skeleton Warriors code that I clocked before. And I thought, oh, hey, that's cool. And so I sent a note to Mick West, the co-founder of Neversoft, who has strangely become the most famous UFO skeptic in the world. So right now, if you like Google UFO sightings, right there is going to be Mick West debunking them. And I said, hey, Mick, do you remember putting these cheat codes in the game? And he wrote right back a few minutes later and said, yep, sure, here's the source code.
What?
I still got it. Pretty cool how you found it.
Wow.
So yeah, that was my brush with fame.
Yeah.
We've got UFO skepticism. We've got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. We've got Skeleton Warriors. Cheat code, put it in. You can do kind of a Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 debug mode, move your guy around thing. And on Tony Hawk, you can get 10x your score.
If you're not following Rings of Saturn, if you're not getting these emailed, then you're probably seeing them re-aggregated. And that on time extension, on Yahoo, on Vice, on whatever. But you do what I do. You subscribe. It comes to your mailbox.
Right.
It's right there. Rings of Saturn.
Every week or twice a week.
Subscribe to the source is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Go straight to the source, just like you got the source code. Whoa.
I got the source code for part of Skeleton Warriors on the Saturn.
Just part of it.
Priceless artifact.
So you can, you can't compile the whole game. You just got just a bit of it.
Well, thank you for the. What do we need to what's the verb? A peek into the Rings of Saturn through the telescope, a scope through the.
There's got to be some of that. I was looking at Silent Scope on the Dreamcast a little bit ago, and didn't come up with anything too interesting, but really fit in with your scope metaphor there.
Hey, speaking of not that interesting, we have a segment that we occasionally do on this show. David, how do you contact the show?
Whoa, there's a few different options. One is, of course, empty soup can, really long piece of string. But if you don't have
really
long, but that means we have to be home when you try to talk to us. If we're not home,
leave a message.
You leave a message by emailing us at sonicweeklypodcast@gmail.com. Gmail, of course, standing for Google Mail. And all you do is you throw us a line. You can, let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you're feeling. And of course, you can ask us questions or, just like, hey, it'd be cool if you discuss this. Or I was wondering what your opinion is on that. Or can you wish my grandmother a happy birthday? And we will, if your grandmother listens.
Yeah.
I don't know if she does.
We will. So we haven't checked the mailbag too much. So please email us questions. Give us prompts. We have one here that we've been meaning to get to for the last few episodes from our pal Ethan. He says, you guys want, well, first of all, do you guys want to do the mailbag? I'm kind of just trying to. So we talked about it before.
Yeah, I figured.
No, let the people speak.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Ethan, please, your turn. He says, Dear Sonic Weekly, it's me, Ethan again.
Whoa.
Hi, Ethan. Recently, I was at a retro gaming store and saw a Sega Genesis Model 2 along with Sonic 1 and 2, and while playing the jank old versions and dealing with the slowdowns, I came up with a great conversation topic. We'll let you finish, Ethan, but Jesus Christ. What is the worst zone or stage from every Sonic game? If you read this, then I hope you talk about it. And also, Grant, from an Unleashed Pro, I congratulate you on finally beating Unleashed. That's true, I did beat Unleashed, and it did take a long time. Because I'm not good at every video game, and Sonic Unleashed is hard. Bo helped me. I needed Bo's help.
That's why he visited. It was strictly to get you through to the end of that game. Slowdown? How slow does Sonic normally get? Okay, when I think about Sonic
the
and slowdown,
jank old versions.
Jank old, because Yuji Naka, I guess, he's like, yep, doesn't know how he's programming. No,
Sonic 3 standalone.
There were moments.
First rev is kind of janky.
Yeah, you lock it onto Sonic 3 and Knuckles because some of Robotnik's traps disappear.
Yeah,
with the power of 24 or 32 or however many megs Oops, sorry. Can't remember that big old number on the back of the box. I know slowdown can occur if there's too much on screen because the Genesis can only
Yeah.
handle so much. Normally that doesn't happen, but I would, back in the day when you turn on debug mode, I liked to do that thing where I would just keep on placing rings
yeah,
next to
of
each other,
course.
make one giant solid ring, and at the end, the game can't even show the rings, and it's struggling. And so I'm trying to think offhand when in the game normally a slowdown moment can happen.
You kind of got to work for it, I feel.
Yeah, I maybe sometimes it's a little funny. Like in Hilltop when there's the earthquake, sometimes it can feel like something's about to break.
Yeah.
I always like scramble to get out of there because I'm like I don't know if I'm going to get out, even though I have successfully gotten out for over 30 years. But there's always that sense of something in this game's about to break in here. I feel like there's at least one or two other places that might slow down. I just can't think of them offhand because it's not. They're not jank. They sold millions of copies, millions. Look at Sonic 1 and
Got
2.
the terrible spike pit in Mystic Cave and Sonic 2.
And that part's rude.
I think there's slowdown in in Sonic 3 when the bombs are dropping in Angel Island Zone and Tails is getting knocked to shit.
Yeah, there's a little. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I mean it's here and there, and this would just sort of happen, and we lived with it. It gave you character.
The real ones on original hardware are less janky than the Origins ports, certainly.
Right. Hey, the Nintendo couldn't do it. The Nintendo would have struggled if you ever played Samari. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's right.
But worst level in every Sonic game. First off, that's a lot to go through.
That is a lot to go through.
But
we don't have time to go through it, but we'll do what we can.
I mean, we could
do the main line.
We could do the
okay.
Yeah, but you see, I would make the argument just off the bat that Sonic 1 has no bad levels, even though everyone would disagree with me.
Everyone's going to say Labyrinth Zone, but the real answer is the special stage. Special stage is bad.
Oh, wow.
It's Marble Zone. Marble Zone is clearly... And Marble Zone's good. I like Marble Zone, but it's the least interesting of the zones. It's the one that's most possible to be an altered beast.
Yeah. It's a little generic. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, Green Hill really stands out. Marble Zone feels more familiar in terms of what is the video game landscape in 91, but in retrospect with the rest
but then you go right to Spring Yard, and then Labyrinth Zone is great. Labyrinth Zone is like what you kind of wish Marble Zone was in terms of the character of the stage, I think.
Yeah, I would put Marble Zone probably at the bottom, but I wouldn't call it a bad.
I wouldn't call it bad. Yeah.
No, I think it's
it's not bad.
No, it's
not bad. Still gets a thumbs up.
Oh yeah, they all get thumbs up, and Sonic 2 gets 2 thumbs up mostly.
I'm gonna zag, and I'm gonna say Emerald Hill on Sonic 2.
Wow,
that's original about it.
Wow, why?
It's just Green Hill again.
No, it's not. It's not because the special stages are so different. So you can get all the Chaos Emeralds and become supersonic once you're very good at the game in the special stages by Chemical Plant.
That's true.
So it's called Emerald Hill for jolly good reason. Plus, it's got it there's multiple 2-loop and then corkscrew, which is showing off the Sega Genesis technology in a very cool way. It does, if they had called it Neo Green Hill Zone, would you like it more? If they just sort of acknowledged that it is kind of the same thing again?
Maybe slightly. Yeah. Everybody's going to say Hilltop. I want to say Emerald Hill just to really rile people up.
Just to be a little contradictory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I'll say Hilltop
is the kind of obvious choice. I think Hilltop is kind of
bland.
Yeah.
Right, because it is just Emerald Hill, but different color, and I guess there's lava.
And
it has the janky earthquake.
Actually, I'll try to go against the grain a little bit too and say Death Egg Zone because it's unfinished.
Yeah.
And throw me a ring. It's against
throw
the
me a
Sonic
ring.
Constitution.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people might just say, "Oh, Sky Chase," because it's not really a level at all. It's an interactive cutscene, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate them playing with the form. Yeah,
they're experimenting. Which
that said, they're all perfect angels. We said too many stages for Sonic 2 than it really deserves.
We'll just say, they didn't finish it in Palace. You can't beat it. That's the worst one. In the original, Actually, you know what? Like, as much as I enjoy Sonic Mania, the precursor, I guess, is Hidden Palace Zone from the 2013 version, and that I don't think that level is as strong as any level in Mania. I feel like
I think
it's
that's true. It's there's too much vertically, and
yeah,
there's like water at the bottom, and then like staying up on the top is just
yeah.
really difficult. And there's a trombone boss. It's very strange.
The boss, it doesn't fit the
The themes.
yeah, it doesn't fit the theme. It doesn't fit the like every boss in Sonic 2 is kind of like you just keep on smacking it forever. There's a certain way those bosses work, and that isn't part of the template. And there is a better word for what I'm trying to describe, and I can't think of it. So sorry. But I wonder if it's because they just went, this might be our only chance, because Mania was never
Yeah.
going to be guaranteed. So let's throw everything we can think of into this one little level. And it was just too much when all I really want would have been nice is start where it originally was and add a second half, which I think
Yeah.
is all you really needed to do. And it was just too much to me.
One thing, I don't mean to be combative, but I have to just sort of say, because I had been thinking recently that Sonic 2, I was like, man, Sonic 2 is kind of my favorite of the. It's very hard to choose, and like I have gone back and forth on Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic CD, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, but Sonic 2 is really, I love, like the first 4 zones are perfect, I think. Like Emerald Hill, Chemical Plant, Aquatic Ruin, and Casino Night is like just, I think, a perfect block of Sonic level programming. You're everyone's fair, entitled to your opinion, but I just was like, oh man, I love Sonic 2 so much that I got to give a little extra pat to Emerald Hill Zone to be like, shh, it's okay.
Sonic CD, everybody's going to say wacky workbench, but I say it's at least memorable. And Quartz Quadrant, who can even remember that one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wacky Workbench, if you're listening to the US soundtrack, is great.
Yeah.
Because it's like this like funk guitar riff that's really fun. So you don't mind getting annoyingly stuck and bouncing as much because you're like, I'm having a good time. The music's fun.
Having a good time.
Quartz Quadrant is tough to remember. Is that stage 2?
That's like 4, I thought.
No, that's Collision Chaos.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Quartz Quadrant is 4. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe we are gonna throw Quartz Quadrant. We're gonna throw it under the bus. We're throwing Zone.
I don't mind dogpiling on it.
We'll say the 4th stage.
It is. Collision Chaos. I like Collision Chaos a lot, so I can't say Collision Chaos.
Visually, I think Collision Chaos is really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the strongest stages. But what I was going to say about Quartz Quadrant is the whole game is sort of guilty of being a little abstract with where you are after the first level. Like I guess you're in like a mine, right? You're in a diamond mine. That's what Quartz Quadrant is.
Right.
But how these levels like connect, I mean, maybe it does. Maybe, I don't know, David. What you tell me? Is Sonic 1 and Sonic 2? I feel like are very easy to follow the environmental storytelling of it. Sonic CD is like, I guess you're going deeper into the
little planet
core of the Eggman planet.
Right. I guess if you start on the hills and then there's the removed R2, which would have been you go underground and then you would. But then I don't know how Collision Chaos connects to that. Tidal Tempest is half underground. It's all water. Maybe it was never as smooth as we wanted to think. But then, yeah, it's fine. Oh, there's Knuckles. The Game Awards is doing the award where the Knuckles show was nominated. We're going to react live.
Fallout won.
Oh, okay.
And Fallout should win because Fallout was great. You should watch Fallout if you haven't. And I haven't played any of the Fallout games, but the show was really, really strong.
But yeah, Fallout 1. Okay. Yeah. All right. CD, Quartz Quadrant, under the bus. Sonic 3, are we splitting into 2? Are we?
Yeah, let's split into 2. So
Split
there's
into
2.
2, so Carnival Night can lose.
You just hate the barrel, but at the same time,
the barrel's fine. It's just Casino Night again, but not as original this time.
Half of it's underwater, so you can be electrocuted. Which doesn't happen.
Yeah. I want to find like the like I'm somewhat tempted to say Marble Garden because it's too long, but I like Marble Garden, so I will agree with Carnival Night. And then Flying Battery for me for Sonic and Knuckles. I think Sandopolis will be a lot of people's, but I
think a lot of people
really
would
like
say
Sandopolis.
I think because it's just too long and it's right before like the best parts of the game.
I don't know. I think Sonic and Knuckles has the best run of zones.
They're cutscenes though. The Hidden Palace is a cutscene zone. Sky Sanctuary is some bosses and kind of a cutscene. Death Egg Zone is awesome.
Yeah.
And then it's again a cutscene.
Well,
with the final boss with Doomsday.
I mean, from the Mushroom Hill on.
Oh,
I think that's the best
all of
span of any levels.
I do like Mushroom Hill, but
yeah. I know Hidden Palace and Doomsday Zone are essentially cutscenes, but at the same time, like it was different for Sonic. It was new, and it was just like it was the build up and the payoff of the entire Sonic saga. If you've been experiencing it since 91 and 94, you just have like it's just banger after banger, and even like the extra, like the old bosses in Sky Sanctuary, you're like, yeah, this is all tied together. In Sandopolis, it's just a lot of sand. And
the ghosts,
are
I
cool.
like the ghost gimmick.
Yeah.
I like the ghosts. I like all the hidden rings.
I do like all the hidden rings. Yeah, if you're looking for Chaos Emerald, Sandopolis is very, very good.
Yeah. There's a few good rings in Lava Reef, though.
So where are we at? Sonic Adventure or Sonic 3D Blast?
Oh, are we doing 3D Blast? I feel like that's so hard because I feel like every level is sort of the same. Like visually,
what's good? Yeah,
right. Like I like 3D Blast, but it's all just the same kind of.
Yeah,
isometric. You're getting the birds.
I'll stay stage. What's the stage I never get past? I feel like it's like stage 2 or 3. I play like I'll get through like very little of the game. I'm like, I get it, and then I'm good with it. But I haven't played the Saturn version, so maybe my opinion will change. Yeah. Sonic Adventure. Then
I was going to say I'd like to meet a guy named Gene Gadget. Sonic Adventure. It's Skydeck for me. It's just I can tolerate most of the jank in Sonic Adventure, but Skydeck is just really hard to play.
For me, it's Casinopolis. I think that the sewer is fun to play, but the pinball's a
little
kind of tedious. A little boring.
Like a lot of mandatory cutscenes, especially on the night side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be really cool, but it very quickly becomes so repetitive that it's annoying.
Yeah. Nah, I get that. I think Skydeck with Knuckles is a little hard. Like if you really need to tilt it, I feel like I can never have it tilt the right way. That seems more jank to me than the Sonic version.
Sonic trying to do that like catwalk thing is really difficult.
That's probably more jank than anything in the Genesis games. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Blame Naka. That's the new hashtag. You free him, then you blame him. That's what I want to do.
Free him and convict him on what he should have been sent out for.
Yeah, it's a toss up between those two. I'm gonna say Casinopolis is the worst one because there's not much level. It is just pinball time, and it feels wrong to lose purposefully in pinball just to go through the sewer. I'll say that right now. I'm not afraid to say that. But what I am afraid to say is any level in Sonic Adventure 2 is bad because some people will be like, no, they're all perfect.
No, come on.
No, I mean, we definitely, I think, throw Route 101 and 280 under under all the buses in that, even though there are no buses in that level.
Yeah.
But I guess you could argue, are those really Sonic stages? But you are forced to play as them. So I will say that.
Yeah, I think I mean, yeah, they're mandatory in both Hero and Dark. So
yeah,
you can't progress without clearing it.
Sand Ocean is the most annoying to me. I know a lot of people complain about the space ones for Rouge and Knuckles, but I don't mind those. And if you're not focused on getting a great time, like there's some cool stuff in those.
Yeah, the only time the Rouge one bothers me is when you get stuck on like the smaller spherical moon.
Oh yeah,
that's the only time where I'm just like,
level.
Yeah,
that's bad.
The Knuckles one doesn't bother me. It's just too big. But that's really like an issue with if you want an A rank. That's the only time it really.
And those like challenge ones where the emeralds are in crazy places.
Oh,
those are actually insane.
Yeah.
Like stand out on the edge of this thing and put on the sunglasses and then take a leap of faith to hit this invisible spring. Like,
I have pretty consistently been of the position that I don't think they should remake the adventure games. I don't think they should do remakes pretty much at all. Like just do like a spiritual successor if you want to do it. But when I think about some of the just obvious jank in the Sonic Adventure games that could be cleaned up with some kind of remaster package, we've seen other franchises do it. You know, we've seen Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and whoever else do it. So it'd just be nice to be able to like not have some of these obvious glaring flaws in what's otherwise one of the top tier games for most of the fan base.
I would like them to take a few years off of remaking classic levels, but I do appreciate Shadow Generations did a really good job of cleaning up things that needed cleaning up.
Yeah. What comes at so Sonic Heroes is next.
Oh yeah.
What's good?
Well, what's good? Seaside Hill is probably.
Seaside Hill's fine.
I feel like it doesn't get better than that, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I am currently stuck on the Team Dark Egg Fortress, the final. There's two like airship stages at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second one I'm stuck on. There's like a laser that blasts you when there's the end of the stage. You got 3 rails, and then there's a huge like laser that blasts you.
Yeah,
and I think you got to just be faster than it, or something. But I'm not.
You push the button to grind faster.
Yeah,
you push B.
Sure, I'm pressing B.
Maybe you got to hold forward,
but not fast enough. Like you just got to keep like. Do you hold it or do you keep tapping it?
The button?
Yeah,
I hold it.
Or you got to hold, right?
Yeah, you just hold it down.
No, you tap it.
You can't be tapping it.
No, you'd hold it.
Don't be tapping.
Because the stage ends 3 seconds like after that.
Yeah, I know.
You kind of duck down and go faster, like in Tony Hawk when you hold down.
You just hold it down and you'll make it.
Okay, all right. Maybe I've just been tapping it.
Right. It's not Let's Tap by Yuji Naka. I don't know if that's one of his crimes. People like that game, right? I've never played it, but who doesn't like tapping?
Well, I'm tapping my foot at the Snoop Dogg concert that's currently happening at the Game Awards.
Right,
so that's where we're at.
Well, you're talking about like this is why shouldn't remake Sonic Adventure. I'm just like, why is Snoop Dogg? Right. See, if we were streaming on Twitch, we could be doing like live reactions and be like, "Hey, thanks for those bits. 100 bits equal 1 like of."
We should do that.
Snoop Dogg.
Why don't we do that?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We could figure that out. Maybe 2025.
Maybe. Yeah. If you want us to stream the Game Awards live next year, send us an email.
All right. Let's try to. We could probably go at a quicker pace.
Yeah.
We're halfway through. God damn it. We can't die of dysentery now. We have to get all the way there.
Are we doing Shadow or are we skipping Shadow? Let's skip Shadow. It's not a real Sonic game.
No, I think after Heroes is 06.
06. And
what's good?
Right.
Wave Ocean isn't even good.
I guess White Acropolis is the worst one.
White Acropolis.
That's the one with like the snowboard stage, and pretty much. I think I don't think Silver plays it. It's definitely annoying as Sonic, and it's definitely annoying as Shadow. It has cool music though, but that's true of the whole game.
Right.
Wave Ocean as Blaze is kind of okay.
Yeah.
It's a rough start to the game.
Yeah.
It's a bad opening stage.
It's so bad.
Head to the Wave Ocean. Yeah, let's go with the snow level because I'm like, what else could it be? Could it be this sand level? Maybe. No, I'm going snow. We're going White Acropolis.
For some reason, I like the sand level because
you like the ball puzzle.
That's where you're
holding Elise.
You are holding Elise. You just carry.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the Silver campaign where you play as Amy and her power is to turn invisible.
Right. I guess,
which I just think is sort of amusing. It's just a weird thing that they've never brought up again.
Right. Amy should be invisible in the next game.
All right. Unleashed.
Right. Worst stage in Unleashed.
Entire Werehog campaign.
I don't think it's Eggman Land. Yeah, it would be a Werehog stage for sure. Oh, okay. I mean, the second Werehog stage. What is it called?
I can't even think of the order of those levels.
Well, it's
starting to.
You kind of have some choice, right?
But
Dragon Road, those on the Werehog are rough. I would say Cool Edge is the worst Sonic stage.
I like Cool Edge Day. I think Coolidge Day.
I don't know. I don't know if the gimmicks work for me on that one. Music is great.
Is it Savannah Citadel?
The
Is that a day stage?
Well, they all have both, right?
Yeah, they all have a day and a night. So
There's
let's.
Arid Sands though too.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't any of the Werehog stages, especially any of the ones with platforming, especially any of the ones where,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know, just Unleashed is exhausting.
That's a good.
Sonic 4 Episode 1. Is there anything good? No.
Bad. All bad. It just gets worse. So we'll say Mad Gear because that's the end of the game.
No, the one I was like, there's nothing redeeming about this is Casino Street.
Oh, yeah, they're all. Yeah, Sonic 4 Episode 1 to me is it's bad. It's just
The
straight
opening stage is really bad.
Yeah.
The temple stage is really bad.
Yeah.
Um,
all bad.
yeah, it's just really bad.
Sonic Colors, I feel like that one has mostly good ones. I don't know what's the worst though.
Yeah, that's tricky. That's tricky because it's the annoying thing is that like there's so many like small, thinly sliced stages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
that
going
are
like
not very memorable.
broad strokes. I guess I would put the Asteroid Coaster ones at the bottom.
That was my instinct as well. That's the one with the purple smashy monster, which is pretty fun, but also not as interesting as most of the other wisps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is a tough choice because they're all pretty good in colors but they
when it lets you play. Yeah.
yeah, it's like not because the 2D sections and the boxy platforming is sort of throughout rather than isolated to one particular it's that element that's really annoying.
Like the 3 long acts in each world are good. But yeah. So Generations, I feel like all of Generations is pretty strong.
Yeah.
I agree.
The worst part's just the Time Eater.
Yeah.
Which isn't a level, but it feels like a level. Yeah, it's its
the
own
stages
level.
are good. The bosses are bad.
Yeah.
I guess the modern City Escape to me it's too close visually to the original and not as good.
I'll agree with you because the red rings are really annoying on that stage. 3 of them are in the opening boarding section, and they just require like just a sort of annoying timing and a little fussy.
Probably Planet Wisp though, like it does not capture what Sonic Colors was like at all, and isn't innovative and on its own.
Yeah,
yeah.
Particularly classic Planet Wisp is really, really annoying.
Yeah, let's throw Planet Wisp under the bus.
Yeah,
there
it is.
Bump. That's the sound of it being run over by the bus, but it's fine because it's a whole planet and not much a bus can do about that. God, we're going okay. Sonic
4 Episode 2.
Oh God. You know what? I'm gonna say White Park.
Underrated.
You know why? Because there's a you can get soft lock in that level, and there should never be a Sonic level you can get soft locked in.
I can't remember.
I'll agree.
Which one did you say?
White Park, because
the snow level. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that also the roller coaster level?
Yeah.
Or are those 2 different levels?
No, there's a roller coaster. That's because you fight Metal Sonic at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is attempting to be something more than just Ice Cap.
Well, everything is a mashup of 2 classic themes.
Yeah. They thought they had it at that time.
Like the first one is Marble Garden plus Aquatic Ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought of it like that, but that
right, and then you have White Park White Park is Ice Capping.
Ice Cap plus
Carnival Night, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Oil Ocean.
Oil Ocean plus Sandopolis, yeah.
Sandopolis, right, the sand. And then I guess
Sky Fortress.
Right.
Yeah. Pick one.
Right. There's so many. One act is
Sky Fortress is pretty insufferable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw it out. All right. We're
almost there.
We're
cruising
Lost
along.
World.
Oh, okay.
Frozen Factory, obviously.
I haven't completed that game, so I'll just say that the first world.
Which one again? Lost World, you said? Lost World?
Yeah.
Oh, God. No, they're
Frozen
all bad,
Factory,
right?
and those like long, slippery ice corridors. They're terrible.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. We'll do. We'll sit, one where you're just grinding forever. I hate those. There's one level where it's just grinding, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Maybe the best levels are the ones that are only on the Wii U.
Like the Zelda and the Yoshi.
The Knights level, yeah.
Yeah, those look fun. Which of course,
I heard the Zelda one is almost like a proto Frontiers.
that's what it kind of looks like. Yeah.
Somebody made that take somewhere. I don't know who. Some
Uh,
message board or
It
YouTuber.
is a microcosm of an open world zone, and I believe people are like, why wasn't the rest of Lost World like this? And you just had to wait a decade.
Sonic Mania, nothing's bad, but
all right.
what's at the bottom of the stack?
What's at the
People, I think I usually see people down on Titanic Monarch. I like that stage a lot.
It's too long, but
all right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Act 2 is trying something different, and in
Right.
a
Yeah.
game where so many people complain, oh, they just reuse stuff. It's like, well, now here's a brand new level with a brand new way to beat it. So, what? Don't
Yeah,
complain
I
about
appreciated that.
I like
Yeah.
the fire gimmick in Oil Ocean. However, it maybe seems like the one stage where I'm never too. Oh shit!
that. Oh, something happening?
Something happening. Shadow in a car. Shadows in a car. This is at the Game Awards. Shadows in a car, and the tires are lighting up. He is burning down the street. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. What?
CrossWorlds.
Coming soon. What?
Oh, Shadow.
That's it.
What?
What the hell does that mean?
All right. Okay, I see Shadows.
What?
Oh,
So,
okay.
huh?
Breaking news. What's Jeff saying? He's saying, there you go. That's all you get. Thanks. Right. Live, late breaking. What's the. So I guess they announced the sequel to Team Sonic Racing. That's not a team game because they got rid of the word team, but the rest of the logo is the same. Sonic Racing, CrossWorlds. That was a portal, wasn't it? Oh no. They're going to do a thing.
New Roads Await cinematic teaser.
Yeah, I'm going to Twitter.
Let's go to Twitter.
It's
going to
Shadow. He's got
Twitter.
his car. He's going in the car. That's all there is to it.
Shadow's just in a car. Okay, so he's in a garage.
Yeah.
He's in a garage. And then what city is that meant to be that he's in?
I don't know, but I can report that the @Axe account, that's Axe body spray, @Axe has responded, "We up" on Twitter. That is X.
For the Sonic?
That's right.
Oh.
Sonic Twitter said, "New roads await," and in response, Axe said, "We up."
What does the axe body?
I don't know.
I don't. Well, because I was looking at the city.
Okay, so other worlds, or is that what it's called?
Cross-
what is it called?
CrossWorlds.
CrossWorlds. And okay, so is this going to be classic, modern, and movie? Now that's Shadow's car from Team Sonic Racing. It looks like. What's interesting is I feel like there was such a big deal made about the motorcycle. Where's the motorcycle? Why is he in a car? We up.
I guess in the game he's.
What does this mean?
Does that city look like Tokyo or no? Does it look like the Tokyo?
Well, I just
I haven't
think
played
that
the
with
Tokyo.
the Keanu in the Shadow DLC, that I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. There's so little to go off of. But there's something new. There's something new to look forward to. A new racing game, presumably next year, for all the systems.
We don't have a date.
We don't have a date. We don't anything. We don't know when we'll know more. Oh my God! You know what else we didn't talk about is there something going to happen on the 30th? Because in that second trailer was the return of the pink-haired lady from the Tails tube, the unidentified human.
Right. She has a name, right?
Professor Tori.
Professor Tori. Professor.
12/30/24.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know either.
Eggman family, right?
Yeah, I think.
Right.
I think that's right.
A great granddaughter, perhaps, of the Gerald lineage,
something like that.
Maybe. I mean, I don't. I guess we'll find out on the 30th, unless that date really doesn't mean anything at all. maybe that's when the CrossWorlds comes out.
Huh.
They're teasing a game that comes out in 8 days, or
Maybe she's the
Dodon
Donpa of CrossWorlds.
she's
That would be so funny if she's the Dodonpa of, and she was teased in a Tails tube, in the third movie, and a racing game. I presumably to then get to Frontiers 2 or some other
that's it.
thing, but that would be a very fun, weird bit of cross media.
Yeah.
Anyway, where did we leave off? We're almost at the end.
Right. We've got Forces left. We have Frontiers left. We have
Superstars.
Sonic X Superstar. God, that's still 4 games, and we're supposed to be wrapping up.
Yeah, we can do it.
Look, okay. Forces.
4 more reps. Push, David.
Okay. The classic Sonic's version of the weird jungle casino. Hate it. Bad.
Yeah.
Throw it under the bus.
Luminous Forest.
Yep. And that's God, that level sucks.
Sucks. There you go. Frontiers. Frontiers is weird. Let's say one of the cyberspace.
Chaos Island is what people I think would say, which is it has a lot of like forced 2D perspective sections. Like if you had to choose one of the islands, or maybe they would say the
Chaos is the weakest one.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could punt and say the one with just the towers is the weakest. But I'll go Chaos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would say like, oh, Ari's Island is bad because it's like super hard to get up to where you need to go, but that's the entire point of the level is doing that. So
yeah, I guess so. Right. That's where Knuckles is. Knuckles. Right. So we'll do that, and then Superstars. I can't visualize most of the. I mean, okay. There's a green one. There's a water one. There's a beta one.
I would put it as the bosses to me are just like the downfall of that game, and the worst of the bosses is the last one for Trip.
Oh, yeah.
That to me seals it.
So let's throw it under the bus.
I guess I would also say the sand stage is just sort of like frustrating how much it's just doing Sandopolis Act 1.
Yeah.
It also doesn't have a second act to like give it some different character.
Remix it.
Yeah.
Sure. I did play a little bit of Superstars with my older son recently, and man, I like Superstars. I am still the pro Superstars person on this show.
I'm not anti Superstars, but
I think Superstars is super.
But
yeah, I would definitely. I don't think there's any argument that you're probably. Well, David could argue it. I don't think there's an argument that you're the highest on Superstars.
No, David's down.
Yeah, I am pretty down on Superstars. It's just maybe if I sit down and play it again, I'll change my mind. But in my mind of like the core 2D games, like the classic Genesis games, Mania and Superstars is at the bottom, and I
would agree. Yeah,
right.
That's true.
And
yeah,
there might be a couple Game Gear games that are above it, maybe like Triple Trouble be. Yeah,
no, I can't go that far.
You can't. You can't put Triple.
I can't go that far either.
Okay, maybe not Triple Trouble, but maybe.
I love Triple Trouble, but it's not.
Okay, so maybe not the Game Gear games. Okay, that is being, I think, a little unfair. But I might put something like Rush Adventure over Superstars. I think an argument
you
there.
Wouldn't dare, David. You wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it,
David. No. Don't do it.
Okay, what I'm saying is Sonic 2 on the Game Gear is better than Super. No, it's
it's my first Sonic game.
Me too. One of my first.
Lots of nostalgia.
Yeah, Rush Adventure might be better than Superstars. That's what I'm saying.
What's the worst stage in Rush Adventure?
Yeah.
And Rush also, we skipped that one. And the advanced games.
I mean, we skipped a lot of. We skipped the handheld games because I feel like we're maybe at some point the
Wii games.
We did, yeah, and we weren't talking about Dino. It's a Dino. Is that the best one or the worst one? Doing a deep dive into, I think it's harder to say what's the worst in a Game Gear game because some of it is just,
yeah,
I don't know.
Blast is the worst of the Game Gear games.
And Sonic X Shadow Generations. Maybe that's a game that has no bad levels, right?
Which one?
Might be right.
Oh, I said like,
Shadow
just
Generations.
yeah, I'm just like
Shadow
jumping
Side.
ahead. I'm jumping out of Superstars. We're going into the next game.
Worst stage in Shadow Generations would be might be the DLC.
Oh, okay. There you
Maybe.
go.
That's the one I have the least experience with so far, and it's one act, and it's a lot of the cutscenes, like I was saying earlier. So there were definitely some alternate routes that I noticed in my one playthrough so far. So we'll see. We can talk more about it some other time.
Right. I didn't get a chance to play it. So not next week, because next week we already recorded.
That's right. Let's quickly forecast. So next week, and then we'll see you after that in 2025, I think. Unless we decide to record the day after Christmas, which we might, because
we may have thoughts about the movie.
Right.
Jesus. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah, we might be like, we'll see you soon.
Right. Well, we'll have to release something. We've been waiting all year through this year of Shadow to see Shadow finally up on the big screen, the huge screen, the silver screen, the phantom screen. Hey, look, there's a big, but you know what isn't yet on the big screen, but maybe can be one day? If, of course, you subscribe. I'm talking about Sonic Weekly. That's right, you want to see Sonic Weekly, the movie. Up there, what would the plot be? It would probably be a road trip, because what else do you do with a podcast movie? It's like we gotta go to the podcast awards because we've been nominated, and Jeff Keighley will be there, and he's gonna hold the award. And if we don't get there in time, they're gonna give it to our big rivals. Sonic Podcast Adventure. Yeah, they're gonna steal it from us. Grrr. I don't
let them have it.
Okay. Look, that's how it ends. It ends in friendship, and they get the award. Before we find out there's a large cash prize involved. Whatever. We don't do it for the money. We do it for the love of Sonic the Hedgehog. And if you love Sonic and you love Sonic Weekly, and hey, if you're listening to this and you want to hear next week, you definitely want to, of course, subscribe to this show with your podcatcher of choice. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or for the Android faithful, Podcast Addict. Never turn it off. Ever. Keep it going. We are also, if you don't want to deal with any podcatcher, we're over on YouTube as well at Sonic-Weekly. You can like, comment, and subscribe over there too. Hey, and it's not just us talking. There's video, gameplay, footage from friend of the show, Jack of Old Games. Enjoy it. Love it. Live it. Life. Whoa. I wonder if he's going to get confused because we talked about like 20 games in the last 20 minutes. Hey. We did a mailbag. That conversation came from the mailbag. And if you want to throw us a topic and want to hear us ruminate on the inner machinations of Sonic T. Hedgehog, sonicweeklypodcast@gmail.com. Drop us a line. We love to hear what you have to say. And that's the best way if you want to join the Discord server. Ask us for a link to it. You can talk to like-minded Sonic the Hedgehog fans about many things, including, but not limited to, Sonic the Hedgehog. And if you want to support the show in a monetary way to help cover the costs of hosting and production, hey, we are over at Ko-fi. We're just Sonic Weekly. You can throw in a one-time tip or subscribe $5 a month that you become one of our executive producers, just like Pig Dan, Papsy, Sonic Who's Saving Throws, and Cal. That's who our EPs are currently. Yes. Thank you to the EPs. Thank you to all of our listeners. You don't have to support us financially. Just listening is joy enough, especially in this holiday season. Woo! Thank you, Smoovies, for the edit. We appreciate all that you do. Thank you. There are no guests. No thank yous to guests.
But watch for the guests next time.
Oh, yeah, there are going to be a lot of thanks for them. So we'll thank those guests in advance right now. Yes. We'll thank every guest we've ever had. That's what I should have done. Maybe for the final show of the year, I'll just thank every guest who's ever been on the show. That'll pad out time. Of course, thank you, Bo, for being in orbit, maintaining it. It's not a decaying orbit. You are in a permanent orbit around Saturn. And thank you, Grant, for keeping us afloat on the ocean of life.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Bo, and thank you for listening. See you next time.